Welcome to us Numismatics Hub, where forgotten American coins reveal extraordinary secrets. Today, we're turning our attention to the Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin, a piece of everyday change that most people ignore. But what if I told you this small, humble nickel could hide a rarity worth far more than you ever imagined? Stay close, because in the world of rare U.S. coins, even 5 cents can deliver a shocking surprise. Top 1 today, we are diving into a coin that many people have seen, many people have spent, but very few truly understand. The 1964 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it may seem like just another 5-cent piece. But hidden within certain examples of this historic year is a story of rarity, mint mistakes, and surprising value that can truly amaze collectors. The 1964 Jefferson nickel features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag. His calm and thoughtful profile has defined this series since 1938. On the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, beautifully detailed and instantly recognizable. It is a classic American design that represents both history and artistry. Now here is where things get interesting. The year 1964 was a unique and important time in American coinage. The United States was facing a coin shortage, and people were hoarding silver coins. Although the Jefferson nickel was not made of silver in 1964, the mint dramatically increased production to meet demand. As a result, hundreds of millions of 1964 nickels were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. With such a massive mintage, you might assume this coin is extremely common and carries no premium. And in circulated condition, that is often true. Most 1964 nickels found in pocket change are worth only face value. But the real story begins when we look closer at condition and rare mint errors. Because so many were produced quickly to meet public demand, quality control was not always perfect. Many coins were weakly struck, showing softer details on Jefferson's hair or the steps of Monticello. Finding a sharply struck example with full steps visible on the reverse is much more difficult than it sounds. Collectors pay very close attention to what is known as the full steps designation. This refers to the clear, uninterrupted lines of the steps on Monticello. Most 1964 nickels show partial or weak steps due to heavy die use and striking pressure. A coin with strong, complete steps and minimal contact marks becomes significantly more desirable, especially in high mint state grades. Now let's talk about errors and varieties, which truly excites serious coin enthusiasts. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is known for double die varieties, where letters or numbers appear slightly doubled because of die misalignment during creation. Careful collectors examine the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God we trust," for signs of doubling. There are also re-punched mint marks on some Denver issues, where the mint mark was punched more than once into the die, creating visible overlap. These small details may look minor to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they represent genuine mint history and rarity. Other collectible errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and struck-through errors caused by debris interfering during the striking process. In rare cases, coins have even been found struck on incorrect planchets, creating dramatic and highly valuable pieces. Condition remains the most important factor. Because these nickels were heavily produced and widely circulated, most surviving examples show wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. But when a 1964 Jefferson nickel survives in superb mint state condition with strong luster, sharp details, and full steps, it becomes something truly special. Professional grading services often show very low population numbers at the highest grade levels. When registries set collectors compete for the finest known example, prices can rise dramatically. Proof coins for 1964 also add to the excitement. These coins were specially struck for collectors with sharper details and mirror-like surfaces. Deep cameo examples with frosted designs and flawless fields are especially prized. So what is the 1964 Jefferson nickel worth? In circulated condition, it is usually worth only 5 cents. Lightly uncirculated examples may bring a small premium. High-grade mint state coins with full steps can command impressive prices. Rare error coins can reach even higher levels depending on the severity and uniqueness of the mistake. But in extraordinary situations, when a 1964 Jefferson nickel is discovered in near-perfect condition with full steps or with a dramatic and rare mint error, its value can reach an astonishing level. There have been examples that achieve values as high as $87,000. From a simple 5-cent coin to a collector's dream, the 1964 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden treasures can exist in the most unexpected places. So the next time you find one in your change jar, don't ignore it. Look closely at the steps of Monticello. Check for doubling. Examine the surfaces under bright light. Because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge can turn 5 cents into something truly remarkable. Top 2, we're uncovering the hidden story behind a coin that many people overlook every single day. The 1969 Jefferson nickel. It may seem like just a simple 5-cent piece, something you toss into a jar without thinking twice. But for those who truly understand numismatics, this coin can hold surprising rarity and serious value. So listen very carefully and enjoy this fascinating journey. The 1969 Jefferson nickel continues the long-running design that began in 1938. On the front, we see the detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson, calm and dignified. On the reverse, Monticello stands proudly, showcasing American history and architectural beauty. By 1969, this design had already become a staple of American coinage. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1969, Jefferson nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, and proof versions were produced in San Francisco for collectors. While millions were minted, numbers alone do not tell the full story. What truly matters in the coin world is survival in high grade and the presence of rare varieties or errors. Most 1969 nickels went straight into circulation. They were used heavily in daily transactions, passing from hand to hand for decades. As a result, the majority of examples you will find today show noticeable wear, flattened details on Jefferson's hair, weak steps on Monticello, and countless small scratches from circulation. But finding a 1969 nickel in pristine mint state condition is far more challenging than many people expect. High-grade coins with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details become significantly scarcer at the top grading levels. When certified by professional grading services, the population of near-perfect examples drops dramatically. Registries set collectors compete intensely for these finest known pieces. One of the most important features collectors look for is full steps on Monticello. The steps at the base of the building must show clear, uninterrupted lines. Because of heavy die wear and striking pressure, many 1969 nickels show weak or incomplete steps. A coin with fully defined steps and clean surfaces can command a strong premium, especially in higher grades. Now let's talk about mint errors and varieties, which add excitement and rarity. The 1969 Jefferson nickel is known for doubled die varieties, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled due to die preparation errors. Collectors examine the date, Liberty, and I in God we trust carefully for signs of doubling. Even subtle doubling can significantly increase value when verified. Repunch mint marks are another interesting feature found on some Denver issues. These occur when the mint mark was punched into the die more than once, leaving visible overlapping impressions. Though small, these details represent real mint history and attract strong collector interest. Other valuable errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, struck-through errors caused by debris during minting, and in extremely rare cases, wrong planchet strikes. Each error is unique, making these coins especially desirable to specialists who collect mint mistakes. Proof versions from San Francisco also hold appeal. These coins were specially struck with polished dies and planchets, creating mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. Deep cameo proofs in flawless condition are highly sought after, particularly when preserved without haze or spotting. What is the 1969 Jefferson nickel actually worth? In circulated condition, it is typically worth face value. Lightly uncirculated coins may carry a modest premium. High-grade certified examples with full steps can reach impressive prices. Rare and dramatic mint errors can bring even more, depending on their uniqueness and condition. But when a 1969 Jefferson nickel combines exceptional preservation, sharp full steps, and a rare mint variety or dramatic error, its value can rise to a level that truly surprises collectors. There have been extraordinary examples that reached values as high as $84,000. From a simple 5-cent coin to a potential collector's treasure, the 1969 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden value can be found in the most ordinary places. So the next time you come across one, take a closer look. Study the steps of Monticello. Check the date and lettering for doubling. Examine the surfaces carefully, because sometimes 5 cents can turn into something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Top 3, we are uncovering the hidden potential of a coin that most people never think twice about. The 1978 Jefferson nickel. It may look like an ordinary 5-cent coin sitting quietly in your pocket or coin jar, but under the right circumstances, this small piece of metal can become a serious collector's prize. So listen carefully and enjoy this fascinating deep dive. The 1978 Jefferson nickel carries the classic design that has defined the series since 1938. On the front, the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson faces left, detailed and dignified. On the reverse, Monticello stands proudly, its steps and columns representing both history and craftsmanship. By 1978, this design had already been part of American daily life for 4 decades. In 1978, Jefferson nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, while proof versions were produced in San Francisco for collectors. Millions were made, and at first glance, that might suggest there is nothing rare about this year. But in the world of coin collecting, numbers alone never tell the full story. Most 1978 nickels entered heavy circulation immediately. They were used constantly in stores, vending machines, arcades, and gas stations. Because of this constant use, the majority of surviving examples today show visible wear, flattened details on Jefferson's hair, dull surfaces, and scratches from contact with other coins. This is where condition rarity begins to matter. Finding a 1978 nickel in average circulated condition is easy, but locating one in superb mint state condition, with blazing original luster, sharp strike quality, and almost no contact marks, is much more challenging. At the very highest certified grades, population numbers drop dramatically. Collectors building top registry sets compete fiercely for the finest known examples. And that competition can push values far beyond face value point. One of the most important details collectors focus on is the full steps designation. The steps at the base of Monticello must be clearly visible and uninterrupted. Due to heavy die use and striking limitations, many 1978 nickels show weak or incomplete steps. A sharply struck example with strong, complete steps and clean surfaces becomes significantly more desirable and much rarer in high grades. Now let's talk about mint errors, which add excitement and serious collector demand. The 1978 Jefferson nickel has been discovered with doubled die varieties. This occurs during the die creation process and results in visible doubling on parts of the design, such as the date, Liberty, or I in God We Trust. Careful examination under magnification can reveal these subtle but valuable details. Other collectible errors include off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing. Clipped planchets create a distinctive curved gap along the edge. Die cracks and cuds appear as raised lines or blobs caused by damaged dies. Struck-through errors, where debris interfered with the strike, can leave unusual impressions on the surface that, in rare instances, coins have even been struck on incorrect planchets intended for other denominations. These dramatic mint mistakes are especially prized because they are unusual and visually striking. Proof versions from San Francisco add another level of interest. These coins were specially struck using polished dies and planchets, producing mirror-like backgrounds and frosted design elements. Deep cameo proofs in flawless condition are highly sought after, especially when preserved carefully for decades. What is the 1978 Jefferson nickel worth? In circulated condition, it is typically worth face value. Lightly uncirculated examples may bring a small premium. High-grade certified coins with full steps can command impressive prices depending on scarcity at that level. Rare and dramatic mint errors can increase value even further. But when you combine near-perfect preservation, sharp full steps, and a rare or dramatic mint error, the value can climb to astonishing heights in extraordinary circumstances. A 1978 Jefferson nickel has reached a value as high as $79,000. From a simple 5-cent coin to a potential collector's treasure, the 1978 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden value can exist in the most unexpected places. So the next time you come across one, don't ignore it. Look closely at the steps of Monticello. Examine the date and lettering. Search for strong luster and unusual characteristics. We are diving into a coin that most people ignore without a second thought. The 1980 Jefferson nickel. It's small. It's common in circulation. And it's only worth 5 cents. Or is it? Because in the fascinating world of numismatics, even an ordinary-looking nickel can turn into something extraordinary under the right conditions. So listen very carefully and enjoy this deep exploration. The 1980 Jefferson nickel continues the long-standing design that began in 1938. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, detailed and recognizable to generations of Americans. On the reverse stands Monticello, his historic Virginia home, with its elegant columns and iconic steps. By 1980, this design had already become one of the most enduring images in American coinage. In 1980, Jefferson nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, with proof versions produced in San Francisco. While millions were minted, the true key to value lies not in how many were produced, but in how many survived in exceptional condition. Most 1980 nickels entered heavy circulation immediately. They were used in vending machines, grocery stores, arcades, and gas stations. Over time, they developed wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. Because they were not widely saved in large quantities by collectors at the time, high-grade examples are scarcer than many people realize. This brings us to the concept of condition rarity. In circulated grades, the 1980 nickel is usually worth face value. But when you begin to examine coins in mint state condition, coins with strong original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks, the population becomes much smaller. At the highest certified grades, only a limited number of coins qualify. Registry set collectors compete intensely for the finest known pieces, and that competition can drive values much higher. One of the most important features collectors look for is full steps on Monticello. The steps at the base of the building must show clear, uninterrupted lines. Because of die wear and striking pressure, many 1980 nickels show weak or partially blended steps. A sharply struck coin with fully defined steps and clean surfaces becomes significantly more desirable and commands a premium in the marketplace. Now let's talk about mint errors, which truly add excitement and rarity. The 1980 Jefferson nickel has been discovered with double die varieties. These occur when the die used to strike the coin was improperly prepared, resulting in visible doubling on elements such as the date, liberty, or I in God we trust. Even subtle doubling can significantly increase value when authenticated. Other collectible errors include off-center strikes, where the design is partially missing due to misalignment during minting. Clip planchets create a curved, missing section along the edge. Die cracks and cuds appear as raised lines or blobs caused by die damage. Struck-through errors happen when foreign material interferes during the strike, leaving unusual impressions on the coin's surface. In rare cases, coins have even been struck on incorrect planchets intended for other denominations. These dramatic mint mistakes are especially sought after because they are unusual and visually striking. Proof coins from San Francisco add another level of interest. These coins were specially struck using polished dies and planchets to create mirror-like backgrounds and frosted design details. Deep cameo-proof examples in flawless condition are highly prized by collectors who appreciate both beauty and rarity. What is the 1980 Jefferson nickel worth? In average circulated condition, it remains worth 5 cents. Lightly uncirculated coins may bring a modest premium. High-grade mint state coins with full steps can reach impressive prices depending on their certification level. Rare and dramatic mint errors can increase value significantly. But when a 1980 Jefferson nickel combines near-perfect preservation, strong full steps, and a rare or spectacular mint error, the value can rise to an astonishing level. In extraordinary cases, a top-quality example has been valued as high as $74,000. From a simple 5-cent coin to a potential collector's treasure, the 1980 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden value can exist in the most ordinary places. So the next time you find one in your change, don't overlook it. Examine the details closely. Study the steps of Monticello. Look for doubling or unusual features, because sometimes 5 cents can turn into something truly remarkable. Top 5, we're uncovering the hidden potential of a coin that most people never look at twice. The 1981 Jefferson nickel. It's small, it's common, and it's usually ignored. But under the right circumstances, this simple 5-cent coin can become a collector's dream. So stay with me, listen very carefully, and enjoy this fascinating breakdown. The 1981 Jefferson nickel continues the classic design that began in 1938. On the front, we see the detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson, steady and recognizable. On the back, Monticello stands proudly, with its columns and famous steps carefully engraved into the metal. By 1981, this design had been part of American pocket change for more than 40 years. In 1981, nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for general circulation, while proof versions were produced in San Francisco for collectors. Millions were made, which might make the coin seem common. And in circulated condition, that's true. Most 1981 nickels found in change are worth exactly 5 cents. But here's where things become interesting. During the early 1980s, coin collecting was not at its peak. Many people were not saving fresh rolls of nickels, and countless 1981 coins went straight into circulation. They were used in stores, vending machines, arcades, and parking meters. Because of this heavy use, most surviving examples today show where flattened details, weak strikes, and surface marks from decades of handling. This creates something collectors call condition rarity. Finding a worn 1981 nickel is easy. Finding one in pristine mint state condition, with blazing original luster, crisp details, and minimal contact marks, is much harder. At the highest grading levels, population numbers drop sharply. Registry set collectors compete aggressively for the finest certified examples. And when supply is limited, prices can rise dramatically. One of the most important features collectors examine is the full steps designation on Monticello. The steps at the base of the building must show clear, uninterrupted lines. Many 1981 nickels display weak or incomplete steps due to die, wear, or striking pressure. A sharply struck coin with strong full steps and clean surfaces becomes significantly more desirable, especially in top grades. Now let's talk about the real excitement: mint errors and varieties. The 1981 Jefferson nickel has been discovered with double die varieties. This happens during die preparation, causing certain design elements to appear doubled. Collectors carefully inspect the date, Liberty, and in God we trust for signs of doubling. Even subtle doubling can add serious value when authenticated. There are also off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was misaligned during minting. Clip planchets create a curved, missing portion along the edge. Die cracks and cuts appear as raised lines or blobs caused by die damage. Struck-through errors happen when debris interferes during the strike, leaving unusual impressions on the coin surface in rare and dramatic cases. Coins have even been struck on the wrong planchet intended for another denomination. These spectacular mint mistakes are highly prized because they are both rare and visually striking. Proof versions from San Francisco add another layer of collectability. These coins were specially struck with polished dies and planchets, producing mirror-like backgrounds and frosted design elements. Deep cameo proof examples in flawless condition are especially attractive to collectors who value both beauty and precision. Oh, what is the 1981 Jefferson nickel worth? In circulated condition, it remains worth face value. Lightly uncirculated examples may bring a modest premium. High-grade mint state coins with full steps can reach impressive prices depending on their rarity at that grade level. Rare or dramatic mint errors can command even stronger premiums. But when you combine exceptional preservation, sharp full steps, and a rare or dramatic mint error, the value can climb to an astonishing level in extraordinary situations, a top-quality 1981 Jefferson nickel has reached a value of $68,000. From an ordinary 5-cent coin to a remarkable collector's treasure, the 1981 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden value can be sitting quietly in your change jar. So the next time you see one, don't ignore it. Examine the steps of Monticello. Check the date and lettering. Look for strong luster and unusual features, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises.